KwaZulu-Natal is in the throes of a water crisis as the many rural regions and cities struggle with access to clean drinking water. For years now, provincial officers have blamed malfunctioning infrastructure, overpopulation as well as water scarcity. But the South African Human Rights Commission says the province violates the basic right to water. Newzroom Afrika's Karinda Jagmohan looks back at how citizens have been battling.
KwaZulu-Natal boasts a wealth of this life-giving resource. But reliable access to clean drinking water is dwindling.
Ekuseni ngabo 4 ngiyokha amanzi ngihamba indawo ende ukempuleni ngihlala nezingane efanele ukuthi zesikoleni ngiqale ngihambe ngiyokha amanzi. Lo manzi nasesikoleni awekho ufanele ngiwabhoyile ngiwafake ezitsheni kubawaphathi esikoleni ngoba nasesikoleni awekho amanzi.
This has been ongoing for years in the southern Ugu district municipality, where municipal officials have failed to respond to the people's plight.
There's no water here. Nobody comes and checks on us on whether we have water. The trucks that come, they come once in a month.
In the north, Jozini residents live close to a major dam but are yet to receive a drop of water from it.
Ngisho laphana nje creche engithathe khona laphana sisebenza ngezingane izingane amasisiyo sewalanda ephongolo siwasebenzisa uma ephelile emathangweni sisebenzise wona zidle lo dodi izingane.
A similar picture plays out in the KZN Midlands.
Sibadala kangakanani no 60 something years sikhama nje emfuleni manje ngendlela nje esikhathala ngayo kunzima nje nelanga liyashisa sibadala sama old age siyahlupheka ngohlobo olumangasayo sawantula kakhulu amanzi.
And in eThekwini, the province's only metro municipality,
it gets cut off at any time. So sometimes we're leaving for work in the morning, there's no water. When we return, there's still no water.
Problem is that we get water tanks after 3 to 4 weeks.
Women are the most impacted by unreliable access to water.
It's mainly girls and women who are responsible for washing, for cooking, and all of these household activities require access to water. So there's a huge disproportionate issue that's going on with regards to gender and the deprivation of the rights to water, which has to be recognized.
In September, the South African Human Rights Commission said most KZN municipalities had violated citizens' right to access clean drinking water.
The Commission finds that these challenges outlined by municipalities and water services authorities reflect poor planning and management of resources, particularly in relation to non-revenue water and maintenance of infrastructure, a reluctance to deal with corruption and non-performance, and an inability to plan and budget for future needs and expenditure. The Commission finds unacceptable the failure of the state, 29 years after overthrowing the apartheid government, to transform colonial and apartheid-era spatial planning to benefit previously excluded and disadvantaged communities.
The Human Rights Commissioners recommended that municipalities found wanting be placed under administration, among other drastic measures. But this has never happened, and instead, the political head of South Africa's Water Department said,
"We are dealing with all our challenges, and we want to cut them down to size, so that those who come after us don't experience what we experienced in terms of unnecessary backlogs and collapse projects." You will realize, I think more than 70% of the major projects that we are dealing with, almost all of them have been delayed for more than 5 years. What were the reasons? We can talk about that under a tree or over coffee.
And the state president unveiled a tap.
Well, the story of the Jozini Dam is one of the real terrible iniquities of apartheid, that such a really large dam, the 5th largest dam in the country, was put up by the apartheid government just to serve the commercial and individual interests of a few white people in this area, to the total disregard of the hundreds of thousands of black people who live here and who, some of whom are already involved in farming, sugarcane and a number of other crops. They did not have access to the water from this magnificent dam, which we are now going to revamp and raise the wall so that it can carry up to 80 megaliters or so. So in the end, the democratic government is bringing about real transformation.
Meanwhile, in rural Ndwedwe, 30 minutes from the plush Ballito suburb, women remain hindered by the water accessibility crisis.
Sikhamanzi emfuleni sesineminyaka amanzi singawatholi nempompi siyavaleka besicela usizo lokuthi kuvuleke kompompi sithola amanzi asigulisa sihamba distance ende namavatekani akafiki asilethela amanzi so besicela usizo ngokuthi sithola amanzi if so wa clean amanzi ngendlela sicleana ngayo sike sifake ujiki.
For Newzroom Africa on channel 405, I'm Karinda Jagmohan in KwaZulu-Natal.